Welcome back, my fellow agents. It is I, X7, your master of martial arts, and the host of Zenorama, the podcast of heroes and monsters. It is Shaolin Saturday, which means we are going to be talking about a kung fu movie or some kind of martial arts movie. It doesn't always have to be kung fu. But today it is a Shaw Brothers classic, Five Element Ninja, Chinese Super Ninja, or just Super Ninja. I know it says ninjas, and we'll get into that. But it's probably one of the top two best ninja movies that don't involve turtles, at least the first one, which I like. But be that as it may, before we get too much further into this, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this movie. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Was it too bloody? Wasn't it bloody enough? It's pretty bloody. It's quite a long movie, but it's very good and very entertaining. So, having said all that, let's roll. All right, so let's just get this right out of the way. I will not be saying ninjas, except for right now, because there's no plural in Asian languages. It's ninja or kaiju. It doesn't matter if it's Chinese or Japanese. Most Asian languages don't have the plural that the Eastern language, like, English does. So, Five Element Ninja, Chinese Super Ninja, or just Super Ninja. Now, your humble agent did see it on USA the first time in the 90s, some Saturday afternoon, and everyone was talking about it under the title Super Ninja. Sorry, can't do it. And I had never seen it before, and I'm sure it was edited for television because, like I said, it's a bloody movie. The movie itself, they go into this. This is, a bit of the narration that was dubbed. It was released on April 21st, 1982. Runs 108 minutes. It was dubbed into Cantonese, Mandarin, Japanese, and of course English, and probably German and many other languages for worldwide export because the Shaw Brothers were about making money. But they go into this. I don't know why. Yeah, um, I don't know how truthful this is. There is some. There's a lot of ninja weapons in here. Oddly enough, the nunchucks are not ninja weapons. The sai are not ninja weapons. The pole and the katana are. So the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles didn't always have it right. But what we start out with is two schools having a dispute about who will lead the new president of the martial artists masters or club or whatever it is. Our good guys are dressed in white, the color of death. The bad guys are not. So there's there's our hero. Our protagonist is Chen Tian Chi. Now he is played by he plays Ten Hao Xiao Ten Hao, and then we go on from here. So they start their fights one on one. We learn about them, but the good guys beat the bad guys in every single thing. The double brothers, and finally they get and they're you can tell who they were schooling. Now, Lo Mang is the only part of the Venom's mob that is in this movie. Some of them went off to film Ninja in the Deadly Trap in Taiwan, which is very similar to this, but not the same. To see if I can find that. I should be able to find that as a download somewhere. But I have the DVD of this, but this particular print came from the Internet Archive. It's just easier to work with. And there's no trailer. I'm not sure. I can't show you the trailer for tomorrow's movie because it's going to be bad enough when you have to watch it. So, but fights here. We get to the last. There's 10 rounds. We're to round number 10 is this one. They bring in Kawada-san, who's a samurai. Oh, we're still getting into this part. So Actually, right here, we're going to see this. Well, wait, not this fight because there we go, Chang Cheh. The dub is pretty similar to the subtitles. I left the subtitles in because it's a little different. Yeah. So this guy kills himself with his axe. And then now we're going to see just a clip out here of the fighting because it's really good.
Calm down. You've demonstrated.
Lo Mang, proponent of Chowgar.
Jishang may go. Barehanded.
I'll use my hands against any weapon.
So this dub in the 80s, the dub team that we knew from, the ones that did it in the 70s, the actors had kind of aged out, some of them, or had gone on to return to their home countries. So it's a little different. The voices aren't quite the same. Now, he's a Chinese actor. I don't know how they didn't kill each other. I still don't. Dodge, spin, parry, thrust. It's really hard still to get great shots. Well, it's really hard. See, when you freeze frame it, you can't, the action shots, and this is not a Blu-ray. And even then with Blu-rays, as we've seen, it's just difficult to get good action shots. So that's why I include this bit here.
Okay.
Sticky hands technique.
Want this back or want to use another one?
Loss of a fight means loss of a life to a samurai.
Dun dun dun. So the samurai is going to commit seppuku, and he does, but he uses a poison ring, and he says and gives him a letter. Now the war is on between the ninja and the victorious headquarters of the Martial Artist Alliance. From Mr. Kimbuchi. So they talk about ninjutsu, and nobody knows what it is. He's been poisoned, so he sends them all out to challenge. And these two, Lo Mang and Tian Hao, are preparing their club, their home for defense. So it's very vague about how they're making their money, where they get their food, who's providing it for them, why the bad school knows the Japanese. This is about the fights, and it's just really, it's a good show. I mean, and our leader there is the chief is, curing himself internally if he gets the 3 months. Off they go to fight the 5 different elements. Metal. They cheat all the time because these guys don't know anything about it. And like I said, it's bloody, and this isn't even it yet. Metal, wood. They cheat here, and I like the subtitles. They did a great job because they subtitle everything with on the side to tell you what it is. A dart, because in case we couldn't tell. But I enjoy that, so that's why I've left this. That's why I had the subs on, even though I did watch with the English language. So yeah, and there's their wool. These are really tekokage, and then we go to water, which is harder to film. The water people then we've got fire. I keep wanting to put the Hex Girl song in here, but This is really well done. And the guy who fights in the fire he gets to kill a couple of them um, with his cheesy mustache there. But and then Shinobi or um, there's Kenbuchi Mudao or Mudo, probably Mudo, ninja leader. But he gets killed. Doesn't matter. And then oops, big bing. Let's go back to the earth there. He gets to wield the Kwando, which is a ridiculously heavy, allegedly a ridiculously heavy traditional weapon, about 55 kilograms, 115 pounds. But it's really, and these are all shot inside. The Shaw's every shot is here, on an inside studio set. Still expensive, still a lot, but obviously inside. The backdrops aren't outside. You can tell. But he gets a good fight scene, and then everybody goes, "Geez, if you hold on the click sign, it keeps going, doesn't it?" So then, yes, the bad chief Hong is Chen Chen, and he's all, you know, but he wants to kill all of them, and he's got his reasons. And we're introduced to Senji, or as they call her, Junko, and I don't remember what the given Chinese name is, but the undercover woman. Back to the headquarters, they rescue her from this guy who's beating her, and they take her in. She turns on the waterworks, which impress old Lo Mang, but our hero, and then she's just spying on him. The entrances, but she likes this Xiao Ten Hao, but he just calls her a nuisance in the dub, and she cleans up after him. I like the typical little troublemaker. Now, nuisance is not polite, but it's at least the way in the dub he says it. You can tell that he's fond of her, but he accuses her of being a spy sent by the ninja, and he's not wrong. She cries, but she tries to poison the chief, but then when he wants to try it, Xiao Ten Hao, she drops it. Oops. So he's like, "Who is that?" Well, but yeah. And they subtitle all of the weapons, arrows inside the hat. And bow, like we wouldn't know what that was. So I find it humorous. She sends out the message, off they go. And she comes on to him, and he's ready to marry her because he's an honorable man. I still find this a very funny line. Yeah, I think she was very willing to do that. But then we see it's an actual. It's not. I guess it's a flute. I'm not up on my Chinese instruments. It looks like an oboe to me, but yeah, what do I know? Or a clarinet, if you will. Everyone's listening and laughing because they think they know what's going on, but the ninja tech climbing tool. It's called a ladder. Sometimes the subtitles can be a little too direct, but they start slaughtering everyone. Spider ladders. This is cool. And she zaps him in the shoulder, and then she tells Junko, which is they say Senji throughout the dub. So I don't. I mean, and then she stabs him in the guts, but because he's got some intestinal fortitude, martial spirit, he binds himself up. Off he goes, and I'm telling you, Lo Mang shines in here. You think a nice spark shot while he fights there. And I do want to show another fight scene. The locking tool. Okay, let's go from here. All right, and fighting on. He's trying to save his chief. I mean, they make Lo Mang shine here. Uh, And unfortunately for him, the bad guy, the ninja, win, and their master is burnt to death. And then Xiao Tin Hao remembers how to get out of the ninja trap that Senji put him in. And that's the guy who knows fallen petals. So he undoes himself, and they trust her still. So they have this conversation, which could have been done. I mean, if they wanted some more emotional connection, the movie runs 108 minutes, so it's almost 2 hours long, and it goes by in a hurry because it's really captivating. But this slight, she has feelings for him, but he's annoyed because he killed her best friend, Lang Jie Xing, Lo Bang, that is. And she tries, but since he knows how to get out of the knots, he gets away, jumps up, and she's in trouble. See, Junko, not Senji. 6 months hard labor, and there she is. And of course, um, the samurai or slash ninja kills him. They kill the whole school and take over and start running everything. And then Xiao Tin Hao goes back to ask to be trained. We meet his three new brothers, pardon me. There they go, and they talk about and he teaches him how to defeat the five element formation. We get a little background on ninjutsu, which, from all intents and purposes, is pretty true. Although magical art of the Taoists, you know. So, and then off he sends him off. So he gives him this key, but he doesn't know what it's for. Of course, it's going to play. This is the third act, so we're into the third act now. That was in the second act. This is the third act. Xiao Tin Hao challenges him, and off they go. He leaps through, nice shot. And Junko is told to follow him and find out what she can, and then he sends four more ninja out to follow her. He doesn't. He's starting to believe her, but then sees that there are more ninja, thinks that she brought them with her, and yep, stabs her in the back because she denies that knowing it because she didn't. So she got played. He got played. Her outfit's very fetching, though, isn't it? And she's quite attractive. Shinji is played by. Let me go down here. Chen Pei Shi, who doesn't have a link, so I don't know what else she's been in. And Michael Chan is Chen Young Mudo, Kenbuchi Mudo, and of course everybody else. We know everybody else. Yeah, that's a cold scene. But she kind of deserves it. He wipes out the other four ninja. Now we go off. We go back to the metal. We go through everyone. In Ninja and the Deadly Trap, they use eggs to stop the blinding, if I remember correctly. I'm gonna have to review that because that'll be fun. They have their own. They've got these. We looks like axes, but they're multi-purpose weapons. So they begin the fight. There is a very famous scene, and there he goes. So metal element, not elephant, is defeated off to the wood, and these guys get dismembered constantly. We're just gonna zap through here. There's no real reason. And the water element, I mean, they get a little short shrift here because it's harder to fight in the water. I do like them skimming across, and they use nets and then stab everyone. And now the fire element, they all try the same thing, but now our heroes have flags. Flag of iron, anyone? Or, yeah, that's a flag of iron, spearman of death. And they kill all them. But, Chen Hao has dropped his key, but fortunately one of the other brothers picks it up. Earth element time. So this is our final battle. The big boss is here, clacking his little, but they've got stilts, so they can't quite stick him up in the groin. And they defeat all of them, Kenbuchi is the match of all four of them, more or less. They fight one at a time. The unbreakable shackle, of course, this is our last ninja component. And since it's unbreakable, you don't see that back there. So guess where the key fits? I like his tattoos. It makes me wonder if Michael Chan actually had those if they just drew them on because they stayed on, and he had to be sweating his bald cap off. There you go. It works. So uh, Xiao Tian Hao is trying to get these on him, and finally, he's had enough. And we're right here. Well, we'll go right back here. Let's see how this plays out in the end. Gross! And it just gets more violent from here. I mean, heave ho, heave ho. So after all that, they ask him why he sacrificed himself, desperate for revenge. It's a sad thing, revenge. I mean, an eye for an eye leaves the world half blind, and but it makes for a damn good movie. I mean, he kind of knew what was going to happen, even though he didn't want it to. He points at the Earth sign, and the four surviving brothers, who knows if they made it back alive, but because since they were all bloody, but probably did survive. We'd hope. But that is Five Element Ninja, and I highly recommend it. It's definitely most ninja movies, not all of them, but most ninja movies are pretty garbage, pretty much rubbish. It's easy to see. All right, so until tomorrow, where we'll be reviewing a British vampire movie, comedy. Until our next assignment, my fellow agents, this is X7 signing off and phasing out.